Alright, hi guys. Let me just check if we're live or not. Just give me a moment as I confirm if we're live. Yes, we are. We are live. A very good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's class. We'll continue yesterday's uh, tradition of essentially doing a roundup of on everything that we've studied for the past 7-10 days, wherein we've essentially covered all the aspects of grammar that you can expect. Hi, good afternoon, Shruti. Welcome to the class. Um, Before we delve into the session breakup for the day, allow me to quickly tell you about the Unacademy platform. Unacademy is India's largest learning platform, right? Today, largest test preparation platform. I am Prankur Arora. I am going to be your instructor. I've been in the learning industry for a while. I've consulted with various organizations such as your Interglobe, which is basically the parent organization of Indigo Airlines. I've consulted with ITC, Marico, BD India, on different aspects of learning and development. I'm a published author as well, wrote this book called It's Not Funny. It's a work of satirical fiction. So if you're fond of satire, if you're fond of fiction in general, reading in general, do check it out. It's available on Amazon. It even garnered glowing testimonials from the likes of Papa CJ and Biswapati Sarkar. I hold advanced certifications in facilitation from an American organization known as the Leadership Management International. LMI is perhaps the world's largest organization working in the space of transformational leadership. And I co founded this startup by the name of Thought Sutra, which is my endeavor to uplift the ecosystem of the creative arts in our country. So, yeah, that's pretty much about me. Welcome aboard. There are quite a lot of features that add to the Unacademy advantage. Features such as the daily live class, wherein you can have real time interaction while learning with your educators, right? So on the platform, there's a dedicated chat box and question box wherein you can ask your questions, spark off a discussion, and even the question answers, they are conducted in the form of live polls, right? So you are essentially competing for a place on the leaderboard when you answer your questions, right? And that leaderboard is broadcast to anybody and everybody who is a part of that lesson. We regularly conduct tests and quizzes as well, and the idea of these tests and quizzes is to help you develop perspective about your learning journey, to help you understand where you are versus where you want to be. All the courses on the platform are structured very much in line with the exam syllabus. डिफिकल्ट तो नहीं बोलूंगा श्रुति मीडियम लेवल की बुक है इट्स नॉट फनी मीडियम लेवल की it does not have Victorian English, it has colloquial speak, regular English that we speak in these days, right? Before we move forward, I would urge you to subscribe to the Unacademy CAT4MBA channel and enter the CAT4MBA Telegram group so that you get real time notifications about anything and everything. These are the various subscription models. Go ahead, Shruti, go ahead. These are the various subscription models. You can clearly see as the time period of the subscription goes up, the cost of the subscription per month goes down. And if you use my name Prankur, you will get an extra 10% off on any of the subscriptions that you go for. Having said that, let's begin with the lesson for the day. But also, exactly. Getting adequate sleep, a full 8 hours every night, the depth of which will be enhanced by a regular regimen of physical exercise, has significant consequences not only for one's immediate short term health, but also for the immune system's ability to fight over the long term. So not only X, but also Y. Well done, Shruti. Let's move forward. Spot the correct sentence. So you have to tell me which of these sentences is grammatically correct. What do you think, Shruti? Fourth, none of these is the okay. Four or two. Okay. The answer is four, and I'll tell you why. When you look at the first month, the mainland was visited by explorers much later than were the outlying islands. Right? So here you have to compare mainland with the outlying islands, but from the sentence it seems as if you're comparing explorers with outlying islands. Outlying islands ने थोड़ी mainland visit करे, explorers ने mainland visit करे, right? और mainland को visit करे much later than outlying islands. मतलब outlying islands को पहले visit करा explorers ने. Outlying islands were visited first, mainland was visited second, right? So the visitors are explorers, right? So the comparison has to be between mainland and outlying islands. That is why we insert the verb here, that first mainland was visited, then outlying islands were visited. Yeah. So that is how you complete the comparison between main outlying islands and the mainland. Second is arranged in secret. Now remember the case with modifiers, right? This is the pattern of sentence 1 comma sentence 2. So if you remember the lesson of modifiers, sentence 1 comma sentence 2, and the noun or the noun phrase that sentence 1 refers to, it has to come right after the comma here, right? It has to come right after the comma. So arranged in secret. What was arranged in secret? Right? What was arranged in secret? Discovery arranged in secret thodi hai. Marriage was arranged in secret, right? Marriage was arranged in secret. Marriage arranged in secret. The marriage of Romeo and Juliet was discovered only after their deaths, right? So that is how you rectify the second sentence. Arranged in secret. What was arranged in secret? What was arranged in secret? The marriage was arranged in secret, right? The marriage was arranged in secret. Discovery was not arranged in secret. When you look at the third one, before the union leadership even began salary negotiations, it made up its mind. Now, there are two things that were happening here, right? There are two things that were happening here. Number one, they began salary negotiations, and number two, they had to make up its mind. But what came first? Did making up the mind may come first, or beginning of the salary negotiations came first? Right? Making up the mind came first, right? So we should reverse the order of the events. यहाँ पे मैंने 1 लिखा है, यहाँ 2 लिखा है. Now we know for a fact that making up the mind came first, and then second came the salary negotiations, right? And if you remember, when it comes to the past tense, and there are two events or two actions that are happening in the past, and one action comes before the second action, the first action takes the past perfect form, so it had made up its mind. And the second action takes the simple past form, which is began. So before the union leadership even began salary negotiations, it had made up its mind to stand firm in its position. ठीक है, समझ आ गया? Are we good with this? Can I move on to the next question? Okay. 4. Okay. The activism of state citizens who have demanded safer road conditions as well as stiffer penalties. Shruti, tell me the error as well. Don't just tell me the number, tell me the error. How will you rectify it? Right? Tell me that as well. Have ki jagah has. Yes, you're right. We are talking about activism of state citizens. Activism is a singular noun, right? So we need a singular verb. Have is a plural verb. It should be has. Has led to a significant decrease in the number of traffic accidents. Well done. Let's move on to the next question. Exactly, exactly. So here the parallelism marker is unlike x, y, right? What are you comparing? You have to essentially make sure that your x and y are similar in their roles, right? You've got to make sure that x and y are similar in their roles, right? Are they nouns? Are they adjectives? Are they verbs? Right? So figure that out and then choose your option. Okay, two. All right. Just give me a moment. Yeah. Uh, Unlike other primates, which are born with fully formed craniums, a human newborn babies. How can you use a and have a plural noun? A newborn human babies? Not really, right? I would rather go with four fully formed craniums. A human is born with a cranium, right? So you are talking about one human being and you're talking about one cranium. Here you're talking about one newborn, but you are saying babies, right? That doesn't. Right. So yeah. So as I was saying, we were discussing this particular question, right? And Shruti, if you're still here, I was telling you about how when we are talking about a newborn human baby, it has to be singular, and this is plural. So that is why this is incorrect. And other than that, your idea of drawing a comparison between primates and humans was perfectly fine. So we'll go with option 4, where we are saying a new human is born with a cranium that consists of 8 bones that take years to fuse together fully, allowing the brain to grow much larger during those early years. Okay, let's look at this question. See, alright, I think this sentence is perfectly fine as is. Why? Because look at this. Dressed as a man and using the name Robert Shirtliff, we are talking about Deborah Sansom, the first woman to draw a soldier's pension. Number one, joined the Continental Army at the age of 22. Number two, was injured 3 times. Number three, was discharged in 1783. Why? Because she had become too ill to serve. Now understand that there are so many actions that happened in the past, right? There are so many actions that happened in the past, but we know for a fact that her injury and her discharge, both of these things, they came after she had become too ill to serve, right? She was discharged. Why? Because she had become too ill to serve. So we are talking about something, the illness essentially came first, and that is why it will take the past perfect form. Discharge came second, so it will take the simple past form, right? Or injury came second, that is why it will, or injury, the idea is that discharge, you can only discharge her after you realize that she had become too ill to serve, right? So this came first, right? She got ill, right? And then she got discharged, and that is why we go with option A. All right, let's look at the next question. B. Okay, you're right. The popularity of football is more than cricket's or more than that of cricket. This is the sentence that is incorrect. Well done. Every day I watch, now look at this one. Every day I watch many news channels, including those which are popular and those which are not popular. So both parts 1 and 2 are parallel. Sachin played in the test series against Australia tenaciously, tactfully, and patiently. So all these three are constructed in a uniform fashion. A tiger cannot catch a deer as fast as a cheetah can. So you're comparing the abilities of tiger and cheetah. Well done. Let's look at the next question. B. Okay. D. Alright. D is the correct answer, not B. Why? Because not only and also. And but also incorrect. Not only but also. Okay. But why are we repeating on? Right? This on applies equally to society, psychology, and nutrition. You don't have to repeat on again and again, and that is why we go with option D. Number one, we have not only but also as the correlative, and this preposition on, it applies equally to the list of nutrition, society, and psychology. So yeah, well done there. Let's look at the next question. Part 2. Okay. Why though? Again, Shruti, tell me what the error is. Don't just tell me the part, tell me the error as well. Had been lost. See, we use had or had been when we are talking about two actions that happened in the past, right? When we are talking about two actions that happened in the past, but here we know for a fact that there's only one action that happened in the past, which is that company lost 7.4 billion, which was primarily because of 7 billion in accounting charges. हाँ, past perfect क्यों यूज करना है? There is only one action that happened in the past. We use past perfect tense or past perfect continuous tense, both of them, when there are two actions happen in the past and one action come precedes the second action, right? That is when we use past perfect or past perfect continuous. Here we have only one action, and that is why we'll use lost 7.4 billion, which is primarily because of 7 billion in accounting charges. All right, let's look at the next question. Confused. All right. Okay. So look at this. Contrary to popular belief, business plans do not generate business financing. So this is present tense, right? This is present tense. True, there are many kinds of financing options that require a business plan. Again, simple present tense. But nobody invests in a business plan. Then we have after being turned down by VCs, we till here we have present tense, right? Then we say after being turned down by VCs, we needed money to invest in our business, so we are selling our home. Now needed is past tense. Needed is past tense, right? Needed is past tense. Jaya says option 4. Option 4 is the correct answer. This is in past tense. This is present continuous. This is present continuous, right? So either make the both of them in past tense or make the both of them in present tense. Either we say we need money, we need money, and we are selling, right? Either we say we need money and we are selling, or we say we needed money, so we sold our home. So either make the both of them in present tense or the both of them in past tense. That is how you rectify this error. Okay. How about this one? Okay, Jaya says 4 and Shruti says 3 again. Okay. Shruti, do these gloves belong to you? Jaya is correct. Do these gloves belong to you? Right? We are talking about plural tense. Sorry, plural subject. We are talking about gloves. These is also a hint that we are talking about a plural subject. Gloves is plural. So belong is plural as well. Belongs is singular. Belongs is singular, whereas gloves is plural, right? So do these gloves belong to you? How about this one? Four. I live in a house in a street in the countryside. The street is called Bear Street, and nope, and the house. Now we are talking about the specific house. The house is old, more than 100 years old. Jaya says 3. I live in a house in a street. We are talking about in a street in the countryside. The street is called Bear Street, and the house is old, more than 100 years. Right. So 3 is also incorrect, 4 is also incorrect. Let's look at the second one. I live in the house. No, here we are not specifying the house. Here we are specifying the street, and here we are specifying the house as well. यहाँ तक street and house are vague, right? Now I am talking about a specific street, that the street is called Bear Street and that the house is old, right? So I'll go with option 1, that I live in a house in a street in the countryside. Now I'm talking about a specific street, that the street is called Bear Street and the house is old, more than 100 years old. ठीक है? Hope that made sense. Yeah, I'll move on to the next question. Shruti says C and you say D. Alright. Um, the teachers, okay, Jaya says C as well. The teachers will be able to visit our schools and compare our teaching methods with their own. Seems viable. The teachers will be able to visit our school and compare their teaching method with their own. Will How will they compare their own method with their own? Right? I think Shruti, okay, Jaya also said C. All right. So the both of you are right. C is the perfect answer, that they will be able to visit our schools and compare our teaching methods with their own. So C is the perfect answer. Okay, Jaya says A. All right. Shruti C. Okay. Both of them. Jaya, A is incorrect. Shruti is right. Right. We are talking about something that started in the past. It started in the past and it is continuing into the present. Right. That is why we'll go with C, that both of them have been working since their childhood. Our working here is something that happens right now. But we are talking about something that started in the past, but it is continuing in the present. So both of them have been working since their childhood. Well done, Shruti. Now, in the question below, the sentences have been given in active or passive voice. From the given alternatives, choose the one which best expresses the given sentences in the opposite. Right? So you should open the wine about 3 hours before you use it. What voice is this? You have to transform it into the opposite voice. Vishruti says D, alright. You should open the wine about 3 hours before you use it. You is the subject, wine is the object. So clearly, wine will become the subject and you will become the object. Wine should be opened about 3 hours before it is used. I think this is wine should be opened about 3 hours before use. No, not A. Wine should be opened by you 3 hours before use. Nope. Wine should be opened about 3 hours before you use it, or wine should be opened about 3 hours before it is used. See, understand. Now we have wine. Wine will become your subject. You should become your object, right? Wine should be opened about 3 hours before you use it. Makes a lot more sense than wine should be opened about 3 hours before it is used. This 8 is clearly referring to wine, but where does you go? वॉइस में मिसमैच है. Well, okay, yeah, I understand now. I understand why you're going with the क्या कहते हैं D and not C. All right, I get it. Yeah, sorry, this is my bad. Yeah, wine should be opened about 3 hours before it is used. You're right. wine will become the subject. Yeah, I get where you're coming from now, right? Before you use it is again it it is getting an active component here, right? So wine should be opened about 3 hours before it is used. Yes. Let's look at the next one. 3. 3 is better. I think now it will be 4. Now I'm pretty sure it will be 4. By whom is this mess being created? Not by whom this mess is being created. Who is creating this mess? By whom is this mess being created? Because you have to structure it in a question and not a statement. Yeah, so that is why we'll go with option 4 over option 3. All right, I think we're done with the questions for the day. I brought about 20 questions for us to go over. I think we're through with all of them. Allow me to tell you about the glorious results that we had with Unacademy subscribers this time around. And these are the current batches that are running on the platform. You can, uh, yeah, exactly. You can avail free classes from all of these educators on the platform and see whether you'd want to learn with them in a batch or not. And I wanted to tell you about the Champions League, which is happening on every Sunday, alternate Sunday. Plus, we have the Unacademy Combat on Saturday as well, right? So do partake, and I'll see you tomorrow now. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. Till then, stay safe and stay strong. Good day, sir. Uh, good day to you as well, Shruti. Thank